Hello and welcome to Colin's vlog. The Raspberry Ranter as Raspberry Ripple, as in cripple, and Ranter as in, well, you can guess. I've got two funny diseases which are quite rare, or classified as rare anyway, probably mainly because they're not diagnosed very often, but I'll talk a bit about them, and I'll talk a bit about the state of the health service. Having been a nurse for over 30 years and then being a patient as well, hopefully I've got a bit of insight. You might hear one of my dogs making funny noises in the background, and don't worry about that. He sounds a bit like he's extra from The Walking Dead, but he is Patterdale Terrier, and he's very anxious all the time. Okay, two conditions I have are, firstly, I was born with a condition called Charcot-Marie-Tooth, which is nothing to do with teeth and everything to do with the peripheral nervous system, and it affects mostly walking, the way your feet are shaped, and I'll show you my feet at some point, but I think it's a bit early in our relationship for that at the moment, and your hands and your breathing and various other things are affected, but mostly it's where peripheral being the kind of like the hands and feet, the furthest sort of parts of your body, because the nerve signals from the brain to there are slowed down because of the wiring's a bit faulty basically. And the other condition I've got is called systemic sclerosis, which is one of the scleroderma diseases. Scleroderma meaning hard skin, basically stone-like skin. People say you start to appear like a statue and your body stiffens up, and it's an autoimmune disease, and I acquired that about 4 years ago. Diagnosed probably 2 years ago, so maybe about 3 years ago I got it really. So I just want to raise a bit of awareness about that, and hopefully if anybody also has either one of those conditions, maybe provide some support, or just to know somebody else is going through some of the things they are. I mean, it's all very individualised how people's responses to these diseases are, but there are kind of commonalities in them, really. You can probably see from my face, my skin gets stretched. It's not as bad as it has been, but it's very tight, and around my eyes it's sort of very tight, and I tend to wear a beard, not because I'm particularly looking to be one of the I go kind of the Hoxton dudes, really. I'm just basically I'm kind of covering the fact that I try to hide as much as I can in there, because I don't like the effect that it has, and also I'm on steroids, which tend to blow out the face a bit, and give you kind of slightly balloon-like appearance. So that's a bit of kind of male makeup, I suppose, is sticking a beard on, I'm not really a hipster in that sense, although, you think I'm a hipster, fine, but I don't think I really am. Anyway, so why have I done this? Just to kind of raise a bit of awareness, talk a little bit about the health service, and I suppose just some of my thoughts and views, really. I'll try not to rant, but sometimes I do rant, so bear with me. I know I use the term cripple, I describe myself as Raspberry Ripple, cripple, because sometimes it's just the easiest way to deal with stuff. Is, in my view, is self-mockery. I don't mean that to I don't mean that to kind of offend anyone. Strangely enough, my daughter, my youngest daughter, has cerebral palsy and she's in a wheelchair. She also has learning disabilities, and quite profoundly, and needs a high level of care. But again, you know, I just think, you know, it's no point in glossing over these things. They're pretty crap, so you just got to kind of make the best of them, and sometimes a bit of humour helps with that. I think as long as you're not laughing at people and taking the piss, really, I think, you know, anything kind of goes. Might be wrong with that, I don't know. Anyway, let's see how we get on. I'll check back in a few moments. Okay.